Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Rich Taylor, Spec Media YouTube channel, bringing you another By the Dip episode with a very special guest. We have Black Crown Comics. Lando, as you guys know, is in the house. Let's go ahead and say what's up.
What's
What
going
up?
on, man? Yo,
Good. Yeah, we were trying to catch up real fast in the back while we were still like trying to put everything together. So we definitely need to spend some time together and hang out. So
yeah, dude, we have so much in common. We were talking books, talking music, talking sports cards, talking all that fun stuff, and sports as well, dude.
Hockey.
Yeah, I had no idea you played hockey. That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
that alone is like, you guys think comics is expensive. You want to buy hockey gear and play a hockey game, yo, it hurts the wallet. Hurts the wallet.
Yeah. My parents were split up. I lived with my dad, and he worked all the time, and he was supporting my sister and my full sister, and then my half brother and sister for my mom in Vegas, plus paying alimony. So we didn't have that much money, and I always wanted to play hockey, but we couldn't afford ice hockey when I was little. So I played roller hockey as soon as rollerblades got cool, and for like maybe a minute. And and I think it was 1988 was my first year I started playing hockey, and I was a Bantam. And I played 2 years for this team called South Coast Sabres. It was Bantam B. It was nothing big. B2.
Yeah.
It wasn't C, but it was B2. So right,
That.
it's not like AAA or major or anything like Canada where you're from, but it's California. Gretzky wasn't even on the Kings then yet. So
I'm just happy to hear you played on ice in California. But yeah, one of my favorite teams in the United States is based in California.
Which one?
Los Angeles.
You're a Kings fan?
I'm a Kings fan, baby.
Let's go!
There you go. See, he knows.
Hate the Ducks.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I that is so cool. I'm so stoked. Yeah, we do have a lot in common. Both play music, both in bands. Aaron too. Aaron is right there with us. Like
I want to talk so much music with you guys, man. But we'll do that after the stream because we have a lot of fun books to talk about today.
For sure. Before we get into it, though, let's go ahead and talk about your channel. So we are Black Crown Comics. How long you guys been around?
So I've been running this channel for 1 year, but I was doing some YouTube stuff prior, of course, with Newbie Comics, Comic Kingpins, and other stuff. But yeah, man, now doing my thing, went solo, and yeah, man, I'm enjoying this. Not intentionally. I mean, realistically, I had no choice but to do it simply because, well, the schedules were a little conflicting with the other channels. But I go live every Sunday, man. Every Sunday night, I go live at 9 p.m. Eastern time with the weekly comic wrap-up where I talk all of, Lefteros's FOC picks of the week. I go in-depth simply because I know, example, Bryan and everybody else that covers this stuff covers the Instagram stuff. But right before he goes with his, his post over on Cover Price, I kind of run through it and give you guys the full, list that's going to be hitting Cover Price before it hits Cover Price. So there's that. Then I go through the market report, talking my favorite sales from the week, of course, covering everybody, whether it be Cover Price, Key Collector, CBSI, you name it. I don't care. I look at all the lists, whatever I thought was good. I'm just going to throw it up there. And then I wrap it up with the hot topics of the week, man. So like example, this week, up, this Sunday up and coming, San Diego Comic-Con. We're going to run through some of that news. We're going to run through all that fun shit. Yo, Bryan, what's up, bro?
What's up, brother? How you guys doing?
Good, you?
Oh, dude, I am absolutely beat. I've been getting ready for the show and running around town, and my AC's going out the day before I'm about to leave, so it's like super hot in Arizona right now.
Yeah, he lives in like the deathest of Death Valley in Arizona. Hot as shit. What? How much?
114 today.
Jesus.
Yeah, 114 degrees, which is, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's a lot.
That is
like Celsius, you mean?
Celsius.
It's Celsius.
He's killing them, guys.
I am stoned too. I am really, really stoned too. So, but that being said, yeah, I'm busy, man. I'm getting ready. I'm getting my calendar all set up, doing all that shit. You know what I mean? And
Beautiful.
it's gonna be a lot of fun. So
Yeah,
but,
you're running over to San Diego. You're doing Comic-Con.
yeah,
That's
I'm
massive.
leaving. We're leaving tomorrow morning at like around 8 a.m. So we should be there about, I don't know, 3 p.m. I imagine, something like that. So
Damn.
it's gonna be Richie. Are you gonna go? You gonna try and get out there?
I'm trying right now, but it's not looking like it.
Yeah.
Man.
So
Because honestly, like, I mean, I have to be here Friday. Okay, I already made that cover you guys, and then so say I come Saturday or Sunday, I'm still driving all the way down to San Diego. I have to fight Mexico traffic. And then of course all the costs incurred. I mean, I appreciate everybody who's trying to help me out to get there, but it's just not working out. And plus, I got to have money in case something happens to Frankie. He's doing okay right now. He's stable. And like I was saying, he's in his last days. But like, if there's something that comes up and we can save him, I'm going to try to save him.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. So, all right. Well, I just want to stop in and say hello. I'm going to let Yee take over. So,
okay.
Good to see you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Later,
All
Bryan.
right. Cool. So that was interesting. That was fun. Bryan coming by to say hi. He did. I did talk to him earlier, and there's my better half right there, Aaron YEEZEEYEE. What up, Aaron?
Dude, what's going on? Dude, it feels weird, like just podcasting from someone else's station. But it's kind of weird to see what their setup is like.
I was gonna say it's like you're using someone else's base, right? It's not the right feel. It's not the right.
Right. It's like I can still get the job done, but yeah. Bryan's setup is fucking nice.
There you go.
My first tour, we were so fucking ghetto, dude. Like, we were in the back of a freaking Toyota Tacoma, the small ones, in a camper, and we had a trailer. It was 5 of us. It was terrible. But anyways, I had just been playing bass for like 2 years. So I used to, when I get nervous on stage, I'd get all sweaty in my hands. I'd break strings because I was using a pick, right?
Yeah.
And all the time I would break a string in the middle of the set, and I had to go grab somebody else's bass. So I know what that feeling is.
You both play bass.
Yeah, we both play bass. Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I played in band for about a little over 12 years, and then I basically retired. I mean, I still have really good stuff, professional stuff, but it's been sitting here in my house for like 10 years. I mean, I still play, I still jam, but
yeah,
Aaron's a guitar player, and if you know, I don't need to tell you, if you could play guitar, you can play bass.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think people need to understand and appreciate the drummer and the bassist as a lead singer, that rhythm. You need that. Without those guys, those are the backbone. They run the show, guys. I'm just there to entertain, really.
Right. I was a spaz on stage too. I used to be like do all these weird faces and like.
Dude, I finally got so we've had the same photographer. So I'm currently in the state of Phil, and we've had the same photographers for like the last 3 years. And every time they take pictures at shows, I've been trying to make goofy faces as they're taking a picture.
I saw that.
Yeah, so I finally accomplished that this last show with 2, and those are from 2 different photographers too as well. So, and they know I always try to do that, but I always miss it. I'm always like too late, so my face always ends up looking super serious and like all the other pictures. So, but yeah,
there you go.
All right, guys, we'll get to the chat in a second. I just want to say hi to a few people. Our regulars are here, of course. Appreciate you guys. Igor's in the house. Jeffrey Fonzo. Here's our boy Left. What up? Doc Joe. He was in my Whatnot sale yesterday. I appreciate you, brother. Really good dude there. And, of course, Mikey Katz, a.k.a. Funhouse Comics. Hold it down with the wrench. In the Whatnot sale, I surprised Mikey. He was doing a killer job as a mod, so I knew what book he wanted from me, and I just said, hey, I just want to say this. There was like 15, 16 people in chat. I was like, I just want to say this. This is going to Funhouse Comics. We're talking about Deadpool's Secret Wars #2, the Bacalo cover, first cover of Gwenpool. Probably the nicest copy I've ever seen. So if you do get a 9.9, kick me down. No, kidding. But yeah, so we hooked him up with that. Appreciate you, Funhouse. You are an awesome moderator. You and AOA are literally 1 and 1A. So appreciate you guys. Ferdy's in the house. What up, Ferdy? Appreciate you. Hell yeah. And of course, his brother from another mother, Pickles Nichols. What up, man? Appreciate it. Tiger Fett's in the house. Says Richie, how's it going, bro? How's it going, man? Good to see you, man. Big Remo's in the house. Says, wait, you're an AZ, Aaron?
Yeah. So when I was looking for flights to San Diego, they all stopped in Phoenix, and so I was backstage buying tickets, and then Bryan was like, "Well, just fly into Phoenix, and I can pick you up, and then we can drive into San Diego." I was like, that's a good plan. So I was like, might as well squeeze in a road trip and San Diego trip all in one, right?
Yeah,
for sure. Your boy the alien says cheers. Appreciate you, brother. And look, another bass player, Ken on bass. What up, everybody? What up, Ken? Appreciate you, man. I'm glad you're playing fantasy football too. Topher bailed out of one of the leagues, playing in the other one. So we got one more spot if anybody's interested. I do label it as an expert league, meaning that you got to have a little bit of experience to play it. So, all right, let's go, guys. Here we go. We are going to go over this week's Buy the Dip, episode number 29.1. Before we do that, we always want to remind you guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Double click that notification bell to all so you don't miss any content Aaron and I have planned forthwith after SDCC. Cards, comics, you name it, we're going to have it. And of course, this show is sponsored by Gemini Comic Supply. Make sure if you are shipping comics through the mail or slabs or comic book lots, use the code popcorn99 for 10% off your next purchase of Gemini Comic Supply flash mailers and dividers and all their stuff. There's also a bonus code, SSP99. Give that to your buddy. It works a million times over. All right, so we're going to go over the last week's House of Stein Hot 10 that did not happen. And we'll go over the Buy the Dip books that were going to be on that list. Unfortunately, Ben had a lot of family stuff to do. The guy's a great husband and great father, even better friend, in my opinion. I haven't met his family. I'm sure he's probably the best ever. But he is just a wonderful, wonderful person. And I want to make sure that the love goes to him. So make sure you guys are subbed up to the House of Stein YouTube channel. We'll go ahead and show that in a second. But let's go over the Buy the Dip short form list that was going to be on his show last week. We call those honorable mentions.
Let's do it.
We're looking at Fantastic Four, issue number 353 from 1991. You guys know this one in a CGC 9.8. Your first full appearance, because he actually makes a cameo in, I believe, 352, of Mobius, played by Owen Wilson in the MCU continuity Earth 1999-99, which is now official, by the way. We're looking at this book in a CGC 9.8 once again, a low of $63, along with high grade raw near mint minus or betters for $12. 90-day average on this key issue Fantastic Four book of $93. It is down almost 50% from last year. What do you guys think about this?
Yeez, you want to go first?
Go ahead. Like Dennis is talking in the background, so
All right, I got this. So, first and foremost, this is a book that was forever a dollar bin book, man. And yeah, hold on, Rich, I think you're on mute.
Yeah. No, I was just talking to myself. Go ahead.
My bad. But yeah, forever a dollar bin book, and then Marvel, the MCU, managed to make us fall in love with the character. That's exactly what happened, man. And the book spiked. It hit some wild numbers. Man, you've got a 90-day at 93, right? Dude, I was seeing sales here up in Canada, like for a CGC 9.8 hitting like 200 Canadian at one point. And I was like, what the fuck? This was insane pricing. Mobius was a key part to the Loki series, man. Like, it's incredible. The exchange with him and Tom Hiddleston, Loki, season 1, season 2. I thought it was even better in season 2. The exchange between the two of them was just flawless. It was incredible. But this book hitting such a high, and it's one of those situations now. Example, you are not seeing him, right? Will we see him in Deadpool? Who knows?
Do you think?
I don't know, man.
TVA stuff.
Sorry?
They've already said like TVA related stuff. Like with
Yeah,
him.
that's what I heard too, Aaron. I thought that he was like confirmed or something.
TVA
I don't know. Yeah,
TVA
so I'm
stuff
saying
for
just
sure.
in terms TVA is involved.
Yeah.
So
Mobius himself, I say no, man. And in fact, guys, we know for a fact that, you know, they've come out saying that the trailers have been swerves. They've removed people and so forth, right, for the trailers. And then come the movie, we're going to see something totally different. I know up until now we've seen Cassandra Nova as the big bad, but I really think that's a swerve. The TVA, Paradox, keep an eye on that guy. Keep an eye on that guy. I don't trust him. But yeah, man, I back to Mobius, it's insane how well executed he was within the MCU for even the average fan, right? Like the average person just tuning into the show. I'm flipping, you know, through the episodes. My wife's watching, and obviously she's intrigued, right? She's paying attention to the exchanges between Mobius and Loki. And Owen Wilson, I think, nailed it. The book took a jump. And now, again, because it's not in our face, it's come down. It has come down. But I'm sure it's going to do the same thing again. It'll slightly come up. But it's insane to see how much it came up right after we saw him in the MCU.
So this is your first Paradox, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, Aaron. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, I was gonna say real quick, but yeah, I don't disagree that if you attach a big name actor and they do well with the character, it's just gonna keep on running. They're gonna keep on milking that cow as long as people keep on watching, right?
Yep.
Or until their contracts end. So
yeah. I mean, Marvel Entertainment. What is that? That's like the umbrella corporation, right? For all of everything.
Yep.
We just talk about in comics money grabs. I don't think there's anything different in the movies, to be honest with you. So
yeah,
money is money. So yeah, I like this one. I honestly think this would probably be, well, not probably. It is. It's a short term play. So if you're getting this in a CGC 9.8, and let's see, there's a low 63, 90-day average of 93. So let's just say you can work before the movie comes out, so you have like a day and a half. Because if he ends up being in there, this thing's gonna pop. Let's say you can get a $75-$80 in a CGC 9.8. If he ends up being in the movie and being a important part of that movie, especially if he doesn't die, Owen Wilson, then you could probably flip it for almost double your money. But hey, only time will tell. When's the movie come out? Thursday?
It comes out Thursday, but I don't know. I have a strong feeling they're overloaded with cameos and stuff as such. I think even come Saturday, you'll still be able to pick this up on the low. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Let's go to the next honorable mention. We're looking at X-Men issue number 11. This is the second printing Pressman edition variant. 1992. We're looking at raw copies, VF near mint range, so 9.0 or better. A low of $56 and a 90-day average of 165. A lot of you guys might look at those two numbers and go, what? How can you have a low like that? Must be an outlier. Actually, no, it was selling pretty low. And then recently there were some pretty big sales, two big sales that came on, I believe, on Saturday and Sunday after I wrote this list. But yeah, I mean, this book is very sought after. Cover Price has this as a gem. You know how they have their little little brands if it's rare or what have you. And supposedly this is super rare. I've never seen it in the wild. I see a lot of them online. I know this book is really tough and high grade. I haven't seen a lot of high grades. Do we know how much this book, or how many copies were in on the census in a 9.8? Does anybody have any idea?
I could check it for you as we're having the discussion.
But what do you guys think about this book? And before you answer that, is this, I mean, it's not really a lot going in the guts. We're basically paying for the rarity and the gray background second printing. I mean, is this something that's on your guys' list when you're hunting?
I mean, second, like, I guess you would consider a second print, right?
Yeah.
Or later printing. I mean, I like it because, you know, it screams classic 90s Jim Lee art. The rarity factor helps. You know, that the fact that it came in a board game. And I mean, how many people have you met that probably found the board game? I think I've met like one.
Yeah.
And then most of the time people just find copies like laying around wherever, and then, you know, they're spine ticked up. Like, you know, there's not that many high grades. I mean, I'm sure you're pulling up census numbers, but yeah, I mean, compared to the like what they were printing in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm checking now. So it's looking like in a 9/8 on the census, you've got maybe 71 total, but you got 47 universal, meaning blue labels, and then the signature series, you're looking at 24. And I would assume it's signed by nobody else other than Jim Lee. That's my assumption here.
Or Stanley.
Or yeah, Stanley. Well, that would be awesome. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, Jim Lee classic right here. It's a book I can't escape because my brother, Hyper Combo Comics, picks this up every time he sees it, whether it be the regular cover or this one. Yes, he actually picked this up. So Rich said he never found it in the wild. Hyper did. And let me tell you, it is a very tough book to come across. So yeah, that's always gonna have a little bit of a premium as opposed to that first print that everybody comes across when they're digging through bins. But this one right here, if you see it in the wild, just pick it up. Don't even hesitate.
Yeah, I like this book a lot. I want it. I'm a big Jim Lee fan, believe it or not.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Aaron. Sorry.
Otherwise, I paid like $20,000 for commission from Jim Lee.
Is that what it's really 20K? That's serious. I thought that was for OA for a commission.
Yeah, commission OA, same difference.
Commission OA. Okay.
So guys,
Yeah.
just a heads up, because I'm checking cover price, and the highest known value for this was in 2021 in a CGC 9/8 sold for $1,200. But if we're looking at slab fair market value in a 9/8, 870 is the fair market value, but 750 was the last sale of this particular issue, the second printing pressman in a 9/8. So yeah, pretty impressive numbers.
Yeah, for sure. All right. We are on to the list for By the Dip episode 29. Thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. Let's get right into it. I know Aaron probably wants to get off. Hang out with Dennis and Dennis Wonderworld Comics, a.k.a. Fish Lips, and Bryan McClay, our boy from Beyond Wednesdays. Let's go. Number 5. We're looking at Daredevil, issue number 254 from 1988. This is your first appearance, and I say first cover appearance, of Typhoid Mary. We're looking at this book in a CGC 9/8. We're not looking at newsstands. We're looking at direct. Around this time last year, like I always like to say, July 2023, average value, mini sales too. Average value was $375 US. High sales of $450 and $400. Now we're looking at June, July of 2024, just under a 30-day. $259 US is the average fair market value, down 31% with a low sale of $197, which I posted right there. What do you guys think about this?
I'm leaving it to you, Aaron. Let's go.
Crickets.
Well, I mean, I guess I would have believed a little bit more in this book if the what was it?
Netflix?
The Madam Web movie did better.
Oh
like
yeah.
if the reception was like anything other than like, oh cool, there's hot chicks in it. Like that was like the best reception I heard probably from it. I mean, I tried watching it myself, and it was mediocre. But I mean,
I tried watching it too. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah, I mean, like it's watchable and all that, but like, did it move the needle on anything like Spider-Verse? Like, not really. Like, if anything, it hurt it, right? I mean, it just proves that like somebody's just like after using the names, like they don't really care. I mean, if they do care, it's really hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, let's all be real though. The only reason why we watched Madam Web was for Sydney Sweeney. Don't lie. But
Right.
but yeah, no, I agree with everything you just said. It's funny though because the character is a great character within the comics. The way it's portrayed, obviously, just didn't resonate at all, and that really hurts it. So I'm not surprised to see this where it's at. Another Daredevil book too that I think is slightly undervalued for a good character is the first appearance of Blackheart. So I put this up there with that.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm just telling everybody on IG Live that I'm not ignoring them. I just can't go back and forth. Yeah. So okay, typhoid. Okay, first off, this book was so sought after from 2016 when I got back into comics, all the way, I would say, into the pandemic. I don't know about through because I wasn't looking for this book. If you guys don't know Typhoid Mary, she is now officially MCU canon due to the fact that the recent news that the Netflix Daredevil show is now Earth 1999 continuity canon, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know if Typhoid Mary is going to be showing up in any kind of Spider-Verse movies or if I expect that at all. But I do expect that character, if depending on if they reincarnate it, showing up in the MCU, because even if the actress that played her before in the Netflix series, she was awesome. She had a split personality. She was psycho. She got down. And she was beautiful, and it was just it reminded me a lot of the comics, and I think that character was played so well in the Netflix. I think that had a lot to do with this book continuously being sought after, and even though it would drop the peaks and valleys of the market, minus the pandemic, peaks and valleys of the market like this book was always had that nice medium index. So I would rather have this in a newsstand, to be honest with you. Okay, but I was looking at newsstand prices, and they're basically about $100 more. Sorry, Aaron, go ahead.
That time period's about that split time period too, right? Where it's like 50-50. 88.
I don't understand the question. Could you
where half the market's like newsstands, the other half's direct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't have the sliding scale up, but I think you're right. I think it was like 86. Yeah. So I think it was like 86, 50-50, and yeah. Gotcha.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's still a lot less newsstands in high grade too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe this comes in a Mark Jewelers as well. 75-cent. Actually, you know what? Let me check if it is Mark Jewelers or National Diamonds.
Every time I collect the Mark Jewelers now, Richie. Just
oh,
so you
know. You do?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
They're fun to hunt. Like when I was looking at the first Iron Fist, I was just checking to see if it had a stamp, and then we stumbled upon a Mark Jewelers, and it was priced as if it wasn't a Mark Jewelers. So I bought it.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
So it's definitely on my pressing pile. Would that be an interesting book to send to PSA?
Ooh.
Yeah. That would be a good book to send to PSA. I like their slabs, by the way, just to let you know.
and that's still not final, right? What the slab is going to be. Like, apparently that was just it's
a prototype. Yeah. Have you seen what the that for San Diego they're doing the ASIC Marvel Kith drop again?
No, I don't. I never heard of that. So what is that?
Last year they did X-Men shoes, where it was like different characters, like Wolverine was the chase, and then within that you also got a PSA graded card, and they had different parallels throughout that.
Oh, that's cool.
So this year they're doing like Heroes and Villains, I think is what it's called, because they have like Silver Surfer, Magneto, Venom and Spider-Man, Green Goblin. I might be missing one, but anyways, there's also a variant comic that comes with it. And then within this, there's a collab with PSA, and in the highest ranked variant or whatever, the chase, they have a prototype PSA. It's inside a prototype PSA slab.
That sounds cool. That sounds awesome.
So would that be like the first slab publicly available, even though it's like a prototype?
Maybe. That's a good question. Yeah, I like that.
I think that's kind of an interesting twist to it too, right? To have already mock-ups, like prototypes in hand that are going out to the general audience, right?
Yep.
Where it's just not hidden in back rooms and in board meetings or whatever.
Yep.
Man, if you could get your hands on that though, that's pretty cool.
Right. So I mean, I figure it's gonna be a pretty big chase or whatever, depending on not even on whatever side of the board you're on. Like, you know, it's just like one of those like first in hand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's really good information. Thank you for that, Aaron. I mean, this is all new to me.
Yeah.
Back to this book, though. I mean, you know, I'll be honest with you. I'm not really looking for this book. It's not something that's on my mind. But when I saw the numbers and how much it was down, I thought it'd be a good one to talk about. I don't know any rumors or anything about Typhoid Mary. If you are looking to spec on like live action animation or adaptation news, but it is a cool character. It's a popular, I guess you could say, anti-hero / villain in the comics.
Yeah.
And she did really well in the Netflix series. So
Yeah. Dude, I remember obviously this spiking, but Daredevil Born Again. You remember the arc of Born Again? Those took a little bit of a jump too once we got news, right? Like it's crazy how this works. But yeah, the Born Again stuff too, man. That was a fun time.
Peaks and valleys, baby. Peaks and valleys. Sorry about the chat, guys. We have a special guest, a very special guest, and I don't want to keep covering them up with the.
Oh, don't worry about it. Just cover me up. Don't worry. Let's go.
Because when I was pulling, I saw you go. When I pulled one up, I saw you go like kind of lift your head a little bit. I was like, "Oh shit, what am I doing here?"
Most likely unintentional. So no, I'm not doing that.
All right, I appreciate you guys. All right, let's get to number 4. Ooh, this is a good one. I've never owned it. Let's talk about it. Batman 635, 2004, DC Comics, first appearance of Red Hood. Jason Todd is Red Hood, I should say, in a CGC 9.8. We're looking at a 12-month average. Since there were so many sales, I just said, hey, let's just do the whole year. $300 US, solid number with high sales of $368 and $340. That is from June of 2023 throughout the year to May of this year. And now, this time around, we're looking at this month of 2024, of course. Average fair market value now $197 with 2 low sales of $163 and $170. I posted the low sale here. Let's talk a little bit about this book. Me and Lando were talking about this book just a little bit, but he had some really good feedback on this. Let's start with him. Let's share with everybody what we were talking about.
Yeah, man. So I love this book. And in fact, I love the entire arc. Now, we were talking a little bit backstage, and I had said, you know, within this issue, it's interesting because obviously you see this is his first appearance, right? Red Hood. So yeah, you got Red Hood. He takes off his like the helmet, and he does that in front of Bruce Wayne. We never know it's him up until 638. 638 for me is the better issue between the two of these, because if you read 638, the build up to finding out it's him, because that's where that's where we find out it's Jason Todd. When he gets to the point where he approaches the Joker, and you just see him walking up to Joker, and the Joker's telling him he's going to kill him, and he's like, yeah, I didn't doubt that type thing, right? And he pulls out the crowbar and he just starts wailing at him in the face. I'm like, yo, this is how it's done. For me, I love 638. Although, yes, this is the first appearance of Red Hood, but that 638 is a sneaky second book to pick up for anything Red Hood related. I love it. I love it.
Shout out to Red Hood Joe. Love you, brother. So let me ask you a question about the 638 before we get back into this. Is the second print, is that Jason Todd, or is that Robin taking?
I think it's the second print, if I'm not mistaken, it's Robin. Is it? I gotta check it. I don't remember seeing the cover.
I pulled it on Key Collector real quick. So here it is.
Yeah.
I've never read the book, so honestly
that's Jason Todd.
Okay, yeah, so I'm listening to you and I'm going, okay, cool. All right. I need to get this book. And like you were saying, it's a full reveal. So
yeah, because in the regular cover you got Batman, right? And then this side being the reflection of him holding the helmet, and it's awesome.
Yeah, like you were saying, it's a full reveal in this issue. So in 635, we get this new character, Red Hood. We read on, second appearance, third appearance, and then 638 comes along. We find out, oh, it's Jason Todd. So now we change it to first Jason Todd as Red Hood. And
I always found it funny how, like, 635, you start reading the arc, not at no point is Red Hood wearing a tuxedo, guys. Like he's in his street clothes and like I guess you could call it biker gear or whatever it is, but like it's just funny. And when I look at this cover, I'm like, man, yeah, it's an awesome cover, but it doesn't represent Red Hood for me, right?
But it's like
Yeah.
throwback to the old Joker,
Yes,
like Red Hood, like
Yeah.
in the tuxedo, because he used to be a showman and all that.
exactly.
So do you want to hear a sick story about this book?
Sure.
So in the height of pandemic, I found this in the back issue for $5.
Damn.
What? That's crazy.
That's a big find.
Yeah, it's like it was mid grade at best, but I mean, still, like even in that condition, that at the time, like you're talking about the height of pandemic, like raw copies were selling for I don't know, like $200 or something like that. So like I was a big seller on Whatnot at that point, so I definitely flipped it on there because
For
why
$5.
would
Yeah.
like it's kind of like you don't get those flip opportunities very often, right? Where you bought a book for $1, $5, whatever it is, a decent key. So the same store, I found a low grade, probably like mid grade to low grade Batman 423 newsstand.
Nice. That's
So,
crazy.
same store. Like I was like kind of like, if you're gonna keep on pricing these at $5, like I'm gonna buy them. Like
Yo, 423 is not a small book, dude.
Yeah, not at all. So I mean, like I miss the days when those were like $20 books, like where you could comfortably pick them up at a like convention or wherever. Like I miss those days.
It's funny you say that because maybe the fact that we've been collecting for quite some time. I've been going at this since I was a kid. I assume you guys it's quite a few years, and when I come across books at current prices, I always have a hard time, even though some would consider it a deal, right? Because you've seen these books at $20, you're like, I don't want to pay $200. You know what I mean? Like I can't do it.
That like it deters you away, right? It deters the vets away, right? Because it's a situation where it's like kind of like, oh, I've owned this before. Like, do I need it in my collection again? Like, I don't know. I don't know the answer. It depends on your connection to the character, right?
For sure.
Yeah. It's a pretty popular character. I would say probably at least for the younger generation. I'm not sure about Gen X, but I know with a lot of Gen Z people, they love Red Hood.
Yeah,
a lot of Gen Z kids. So, look at this, Richie. No love for cover price. Really key collector. Actually, I use cover price probably not at least 90% of the time. It's just we were just off the cuff, and I'm not leaving anybody out. It's only data. It's only data. So everybody's included.
Speaking cover price, just so you guys know, the highest known value for this CGC 98 2021 was $1,000 US. 98 fair market value is 208, man. Last sale 163. So, like you said, see the 163 that you showed, it's come down quite a bit in the last 3 years. So, I think it's a good time to pick it up.
Yeah, I think it's a great time.
I think DC keys in general, right? Just because
they're so
yeah, because I mean they're rebuilding like what they're doing, so I mean it doesn't hurt to, because every time I've seen I've been collecting on and off since a kid, like, and it's always been like a battle between the big two of which one's more popular. Like some years it's Marvel, some years it's DC, and it's I've always seen that classic battle. And then obviously we're in the Marvel age right now, so it doesn't ever hurt to buy against the grain, right? Of what's popular.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Everything goes in like cycles, right? So it'll eventually come back.
That's how we do it. That's how I do it in fantasy football, at least. So when we're all drafting in fantasy football, and there's a position run, right? So for instance, let's say we're in the 8th round, and all of a sudden all the quarterbacks start going, right? Wherever the position run is, rather than panicking, I go the opposite way.
Yeah.
So that is a fantasy football comparison, and the way that works is because this is how the market is as well. Is if everybody's zigging, I'm gonna zag, and that's why I like buy the dip. We talk about books that are on the low that nobody's talking about, that no one cares about until they get the news and they go, "Damn, I should have bought it." I was just talking to somebody recently, and I don't remember who it was, but Aaron and I had this book up. I think it was either a number 1 or number 2 book. It was a big key, and it was super low. And then all of a sudden, this news came out, and like 3 weeks later, and the book is like almost 30-40% up, and the person just bought it. And I was like, "When did you buy the book?" Because I know he watches. And he's like, "Yeah, I just bought it last week or whatever." And I was like, "Damn," So I don't know. I mean, like Aaron was saying, I really like that. I really like that. That was strong. Zig when everybody's zagging, meaning that everybody's going one way, you go the other. That's the right way to do it. I like that.
Always.
All right, guys, let's get to number 3. So I don't know if I like this cover or not. I haven't decided, but there is not many around. All new Wolverine issue number 1. We're looking at the David Marquez 1/15 retailer incentive variant, specifically in a CGC 9.8. I had to go deep to get pricing on this. I had to go to multiple platforms outside of Whatnot and found some good sales. We have January 2023, so into the pandemic, but still, like we were talking about last backstage, still prices are a little fluff from the pandemic, but into around this time last year on the 6-month average, this 1/15 in a CGC 9.8 was $150 with a high sale of $205. We're looking at this book now, July 2024, just under the 60-day. I would say closer to like a 45-day. Average value now, $94 in a CGC 9.8 with 2 low sales, one for 70 and one for 93. So it's obviously a key issue because she becomes Wolverine, right? It's not like a huge key or what have you. This book was probably massively printed. But there's just not a lot of 1/15s out there. So, I mean, first of all, do you guys like this cover? A. B, with her coming and all the, with X-23 coming, Daphne Keene, and all of her books are hot, NYX3, so on and so forth. Is this something that you guys would consider possibly making a move on?
Well, first off, I just want to address Awesome Sauce Radio's comment because they, Awesome Sauce saying, what would speculate and invest in midget strippers. I just want to give you a heads up. My bachelor party, we looked into it. They make you sign a contract that states you cannot pick them up. So that it's a no deal for me.
We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah, but when it comes to all new Wolverine, yes, like you were saying, there's possibly a few of them, but I think the reason why you're seeing, the sense is so low. I don't know how many copies of All New Wolverine were ever ordered, to be honest. But I don't imagine shops at the time that this came out in 2015 going heavy on it, right? They weren't ordering multiple copies. Mind you, I don't even know how many people were probably even pulling All New Wolverine when it came out, right? Look at how many people slept on multiple characters. Edge of Spider-Verse too. Like, many people, nobody thought it was going to explode the way it did, right? But here, once we get into ratios territory at this time frame, I always say, like the fact that shops aren't probably ordering, 15 copies, automatically the scarcity comes into play here. Now, seeing the high it hit, and you got to remember, this is a 1/15. I still think that $94, it's held relatively well, considering. I always factor, okay, if it's a 1/15, I go ratio price, it's $15. Add the CGC fee, what is it? It's like $40-50. All right, $60 in total. Sorry, we'll say 65 total. You're making still 30-something dollars off it. 70 on that low sale. That's pretty much where it would be, right? So it's where I think it should be technically right now.
So we got thank you for that. That makes a lot of sense. Before I answer that, let's look at the Comic-Con numbers. So All New Wolverine number 1 looks like number 2 and issue 2, number 2, issue 2 and issue 1 released in the same month, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, look at that drop off. Boom, 120K.
Damn.
No, for Honey Badger.
And then exactly. And that second, I wonder what that second print is. I don't want to get into it, but the second issue is 55.6.
So
Always,
hold on. Is that saying that issue 1 had over 100,000 orders?
Yes, at
Yeah, so-
least
And there's-
119 and change. At
and
least
there's only
units ordered
by
on the
retailers.
distribution level. So
So-
it doesn't account for returns or damages or anything like that. So
Yeah.
those are the unit copies that are estimated that all retailers on the diamond system ordered that for that book.
It's interesting though, because when you factor that many copies ordered, so disregard what I said about it not being so heavily ordered. Man, 100 and something thousand copies, and there's only 100 and something on CGC Census and a 9.8. That's pretty interesting.
And that's it. It was one of the reasons why I wanted to bring it up too.
I think it's all, is it all covers, if I'm not mistaken, that are included in that number?
I would believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that's everything. So basically, on a 1 in 25, is 4%, right? It's 4%. So 4%. It's not a 1 in 25, obviously, but it's just easier to do the math in my head than a 1 in 15. 4% of 100K is what, 400, right? Or is that 4,000? That's 4,000. 4,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that would basically be 5,000. Man, there's supposed to be a lot more of these.
Yeah.
I don't know the math. I have to get my calculator for that 1 in 15, but honestly, like yeah, there's supposed to be more of these because 1 in 15 over 1 in 25, and there's just not that many on the census. I mean, let me bring it back up here.
Yep.
but could it go back
And
to your question of like
108 on the census blues.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron, go ahead.
But would it go back to your original question of like, do you like this cover? Could it be that situation where people like don't really like this cover, or like, you know, where you like any cover that's like whatever,
Makes
like
sense.
people are gonna either love it or hate it or whatever, or somewhere in between. So it could be that situation where more people don't like this cover, and so they're grading, you know, like they rather grade like cover A or whatever. Or I'm pretty sure like All New Wolverine has like quite a few covers, anyways.
Yeah, I think there's like 18 or no, I don't know if there's 18,
Well,
but there's
like,
like
I know
at
I
least
have-
like 5, 6, 7, 8, something like that.
Yeah, I know I have at least the design variant, which is like a 1 in 25 or something like that. But anyways, with the series and this character, I think the fuse only just now got lit, right? With the confirmation that
Daphne Keane there.
that she's gonna be X-23, and she was told to lie in interviews and all that stuff. So I think the spark only just now started, right? Versus like where we got to see the beat build for Lady Deadpool.
Yeah.
So I think like once people see the film, I think that's when we'll see a spike, but then, you know, as normal for every movie, it's gonna kind of tank, right?
Yeah. One thing I just want to mention is now looking just via League of Comic Geeks at the covers that were available for this. There's the design one that you were talking about, which is the 1 in 20. There's an Arthur Adams 1 in 25, which is neat. I really like the David Lopez one. That one's probably the best one of all the incentives. But guys, there's 3 retailer exclusives and 1 event exclusive as well that's tied to that. My opinion, I think exclusives hurt ratios across the board. So I'm not going to say that that's the main reason why. I think that the other incentives just naturally look better as opposed to this cover. So just to answer, Rich's question or dilemma, if you want to call it, regarding the cover, I'd pay that little extra for those other incentives. They're just better, in my opinion.
She says, if you want to tangle with someone in the word bubble, I don't think it's bad. I like it. It's not like crazy like Alex Ross art, but if you look at the point of view, right, she's like running up a hill, looks like she's about to slide. I think that's really interesting how they did that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the greatest cover, but it's different. I just don't see this one around that much. That's What were you gonna say, Aaron?
I forgot that this is that issue where she's introduced as Wolverine, right?
Yeah, she actually becomes the 616 Wolverine. You're right.
Right, in costume. So I think this helps it a little bit better versus like the A cover, which is just the headshot And then I know they reprinted that again for the local comic shop day or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that benefits it or hurts it, or you know.
I hate knowing.
That's the current state of comics now, right? Too.
Yeah.
So now I need to reread this book because we're getting some really interesting comments. What up, Phil? Appreciate you joining us. This kind of looks like an interior splash page. So kind of like how Marvel does their late printings, right?
Yeah.
Good point.
I guess it worked on this one. I don't remember this in the guts, so I have to double check that. Left is saying this is an homage to the last panel of Hulk 180.
Yep.
Which is your first appearance of Wolverine.
That's right, baby.
I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that, but to be honest with you, I guess I would rather have a Hulk 181 because it's just so much more expensive as long as I didn't have to pay it. But I mean, that where you're paying so much money for a first cover appearance, second appearance. But
yeah, I hate knowing that the hip hop variant, the DMX homage, the Blood of My Blood, dude. That was an open order, and that one did relatively well within the pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, DMX also passed away too.
Yeah, that was another one.
Yeah. So and then the other hip hop cover that like really went off big was that MF Doom as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What was that? What's the ratio one that did pretty good for a minute, but it was hard to find? Was it Inhumans 5? Right.
Oh. 100, where's the Sugar Hill Gang?
Is it 1 in 200? Is that what it is?
It's 1 in.
It's crazy, right? It's like it's pretty
100 or 1 in 200. I don't know the consensus. Like, I know it's up there. I know it's up there.
Yeah, I just pressed one for my buddy. I'm sending it to CGC. I like that one.
Nice.
All right, guys, let's move on. Great chat. The chat is on fire tonight. We're a little bit low on. We typically have around 50 to 60 viewers in the chat right now, but unfortunately, we don't have the industry show going. So I think a lot of people might have took the night off, and it's San Diego week. I already kind of knew this, you know. So
everyone's at the Deadpool premiere.
Oh, that too.
New York, right?
Yep.
All right, guys, let's get to the last two books, and then I'll get you guys out of here. Appreciate you guys watching us. Appreciate it so much. Strange Academy, issue number 2. In my opinion, the best cover of all of them, of every single issue. This is the Arthur Adams character spotlight variant. This was open to order, was not a ratio. CGC 9.8. We're looking at June, July 2023. Average fair market value for this in a near mint CGC 9.8, $100 with a high sale of $105. We're looking at this book, let's say a year later, just a little bit around a 30-day average, just right about. Multiple sales, average value now $70 with a low sale of $65. Guys, I'm a buyer all day.
Yep.
I mean, I know Strange Academy is pretty heavily printed, even like the second issue. I mean, I know issue 1, it was like printed over 100K. Plus, you had all those previews that were in all those 7 other books that came out 2 weeks prior.
Mm-hmm.
Issue 2 naturally cuts down on retailer orders. Typically, you know, whatever the number is, between 80%, but around 50%. But this book right here, for some reason, I cannot find this book in the wild at all.
Dude, I've got tons if you need a copy, man.
No, I pre-ordered this book. I pre-ordered. I had a ton. A ton of these books, and then unfortunately, I sold them all, and now I want it back. But I thought it was a good time to talk about it. I mean, especially with the recent drop in value.
Yeah, dude. The second I saw Arthur Adams attached to Doyle Dormammu, I was like, yeah, I'm pre-ordering. I went big on it. But yeah, man, Strange Academy in general, man. I don't know how people. I don't know if it's maybe certain people just refrain intentionally from falling in love with it, because I really enjoyed it. Like, as a read, I loved the concept. Everything about Strange Academy was great. A lot of good appearances. Doyle being one of my favorites out of the entire bunch. And yeah, man, like, You said Strange Academy was heavily printed. The issue number 1. I have a 9/8, but I didn't go heavy on issue number 1. Obviously, the later prints hit, right? You saw all those later prints, man. Like everybody was scooping those up. Everybody was scooping those up, and
or something like that, right?
yeah, and those became like $2 books, and there was even exclusives. I don't know if you guys remember. They redid I think it was the Ramos cover in a Virgin. And yeah, man. So back to Strange Academy. I really, really love Strange Academy. I love this cover. I know I saw somebody comment saying it's a little goofy. Joe, yeah, I agree. It is, but Doyle, it's so fitting for the character. I love it.
Yeah, that's funny. It is a little bit goofy, but it is a really good Art Adams cover. I mean, we're talking about Dormammu here, and the son of Dormammu. Which is basically they basically look the same. I mean, if you look at it, you didn't know Dormammu, you'd be like you'd be thinking it has something to do with Halloween or Jack-o'-lantern, but such an amazing design. You remember on the Strange Academies, there was always an open to order character spotlight variant, right? So you had they did one for everyone in the team or school or students in the school, and then they did gas lamps, so on and so forth. Yeah. I think this one just completely blows doors on all of those, and I honestly I can't even stand those character spotlight covers. I think they're cheesy as hell.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think people would generally want to collect the set anyways. If like 3 or 4 of those characters were somewhat of like a favorite, and then I've definitely been eyeing issue 1 at my LCS. Like they have a 9/8 for like $250. I'm kind of waiting for that 200 price point to buy it, or for them to have a sale.
Yeah.
I like this one. I think this is cool. The Aya Agamotto.
Another one though that's like $2 book, right?
Yep.
And it's crazy because like looking at cover price, this particular cover with Doyle Dormammu that you were showing, highest known value CGC 9/8 again in 2022. Pandemic numbers, baby. $200 for a CGC 9/8. And now you're showing us 65. So yeah.
I love this cover, and hopefully I can use this data when we jump off so I can go buy one. Just kidding. All right, guys. Last book. Thank you guys for joining us once again. Really appreciate it. Let's get to number 1. Ooh, iconic. Where's the sign, Aaron? Did you bring it with you?
No, I definitely don't travel with the iconic sign. So, I should have brought that for the con, right?
Yeah, that would have been great. We need to make iconic shirts, bro.
Oh, I could. I could do 2 shirts. I could do the iconic or not iconic.
There you go.
There you go. So.
We're looking at the Uncanny X-Men issue number 141, specifically in a newsstand. This is from 1981. CGC 9/8, very expensive book, July of 2023. Average fair market value for this book was $1,235 US, with high sales of $1,200 and $1,300 US. Bam, right? After the pandemic, you're thinking, oh, man, we are good to go. This book made it. It made it. Well, let's see what's going on now. June, July 2024, this year, average value now $882. This drop in fair market value is at or about 30%, which doesn't, off the top of your head, doesn't seem like a big drop, but the book's so expensive, you realize it's almost like $400.
Yeah.
If you guys listen, okay, honestly, all 3 of us would, if you own this book, you probably love it. If you don't, you probably wouldn't mind or would like to have it. Does it matter to you guys if you got a CGC 9/8 in a direct or a newsstand? Take away the scarcity, the print numbers, or anything like that. Because the difference in price is, I was looking at direct and newsstand. Newsstands were $882 average, pretty solid fair market value right now. Yep. Directs are about close to about 20% lower.
So this is the time period of directs with just a slash through the barcode. So it's not even a different symbol or anything like that. And then at that point, there's more newsstands than direct versions. So I mean, I know not everyone follows that trend, right? Of what was distributed more during that time period.
Right.
I know, like I would say typically, like, people that watch these shows or people on the panels, right, that kind of really follow that scarcity factor
Oh yeah.
when it comes to something like that. But I mean, it's always hard to pass on a high grade newsstand, but at the same time, like, this cover in general too, right? It's all black cover. I think in the 98, in either or of what you can find within your budget, it's not a bad pickup.
I
Yep.
agree. I agree.
To answer your question, Rich, which is a great one, according to eBay, it looks like people do not give a you know what I was just about to say when it comes to whether it's a direct or a newsstand, because direct sales are hovering at 1,000 Canadian. So just to give you an idea, this book is Claremont, Byron, classic, Days of Future Past, first appearance. Also, now we've got Pyro, right? That's going to be within Deadpool. We saw that. I don't think the book's going to spike just because of Pyro. Absolutely not. I mean, it would have a long time ago, but this on its own will stand the test of time, man. And it's probably one of the most homaged covers outside of ASM 300 and several others. But yeah, man, I like this book, whether direct newsstand. Sorry,
I guess I was wrong. It is a Spidey head with the direct.
Yeah, it's the Spidey head. It's the Spidey head.
My bad. I thought it was in that time period when they were doing the slashes. I guess that was the 70s.
As you said it, I was seeing the pictures and I was like, no, I'm just gonna let it go. Just let it go.
Yeah, it's about $100 to 100 and close to $150 less US.
Yeah. No, take that one.
I'll make the excuse that I'm at Bryan's place, so I definitely was hitting.
you got it was the secondhand smoke, guys. But
I'm in a medicinal state now, or recreational, so yeah, I was inhaling. So
my man. But yeah, man. So for $150 less, yeah, I'm more than fine to get the direct. I don't care look, just in general. I know people admire or they just genuinely enjoy the scarcity stuff or chasing newsstands and all of that fun stuff. Cool. Nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But for myself, it's the book. The book itself is all that matters to me. That's the type of collector I am. So if if I could save $150 to own this awesome book, I'll take that $150 and go buy another book I want in my collection. That's just how I am.
There you go. There you go. That's, that's great.
I definitely bought books in on the dip. That it didn't matter if it was newsstand or direct. That at one point in time, I bought a New Mutants 98, in the 96. I bought a direct at one price, and then not even 4 months later, I found the newsstand at lower than that price.
Damn.
So yeah, so it was kind of a no-brainer in those situations, especially if they're the same grade and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree, man. If you come across deals, it is an absolute no-brainer. You said you got a 9.6 and then you found it in a newsie for how much cheaper?
Like $30 or $50 cheaper.
Yeah, that's great because it's not crazy.
I bought both. I sold the direct just because of the hype of Deadpool right now. Because I mean, there's plenty of copies out there. I can always buy another one back in at some point in time.
But that's great advice right there. What you're sharing is that you're okay to let it go and just pick it up again, because now is a good opportunity to make money on certain books, right? So when you see something spiking, there's nothing wrong with letting it go. It doesn't mean you're a dirty flipper. No, it means that you're you're being smart.
You understand market trends, and you want to fund your own collection and hobby and stuff like that.
Exactly. And that's right. I encourage everybody to do that simply because, you want to fund the hobby. It's a fucking expensive hobby, guys. You collect cards, you collect comics, you know what it is. So, if you could turn that into something that you're more proud to have within your collection and buy back in the future, go ahead.
Appreciate you. Is it Federalist?
Federalist.
Okay. There are Mark Jewelers, and there is a UK edition. And like you were saying, this cover's been homaged so many times. There's like foil. There's a all bunch of stuff.
Oh, so I do have an interesting announcement about that. So I've been following, like, obviously what comics are being released for San Diego. So the NFT Marvel thing, the VV, right?
Oh yeah, Vivi.
Yeah. So they're actually releasing physical comics for San Diego.
Wow.
Yeah. So and it's they're doing a 142 set, and it's like
Oh, nice.
it's basically this cover in a different perspective. Like you see behind Wolverine in the who's that, Kitty?
That's
Is
cool.
that-
I thought Vivi was.
I thought that was Rachel Summers. No, is that Kitty Pryde?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'm
but
okay.
I really thought Vivi was going to just stay digital. So the fact they're doing that's pretty interesting.
Right, especially like releasing something like at this convention. Like, and saying it's so late, I think people are going to overlook that. So I'm going to kind of try to swoop in on that.
Yeah, might be a sneaky little release for you to grab if you can, find
Yeah,
your
I mean, yeah. I mean, if I float by that booth, like, then I'll probably pick it up. But if it's
Nice.
a huge line, I'm probably gonna get bored because there's like 1,000 other things to pick up, right?
Yeah.
So my first collection that I bought when I first started flipping, probably I want to say December 2018, maybe January 2019. I found it on eBay, and I was in the search engine. It was a Saturday. I wasn't doing much, so I was messing around with it. I didn't know anything about anything. Just to let you, I mean, I knew about comics, but I just didn't know about computers. I didn't know about all these secrets. So I started going, okay, let's put in, like, instead of Uncanny X-Men, let's put in X-Men. Let's not put a dash there, stuff like that. I don't remember what happened, what the actual deal was, but I found this guy from Illinois, and he was selling his collection, and he had the entire freaking Chris Claremont Byrne Uncanny X-Men run issues, and he had doubles and triples of them, and I think the worst one was probably like maybe a 4.0, and there was some that I sold for near mint. I mean, crazy amount. I ended up working a deal with this guy, got them all for $200. And anyways, long story short, I had this one. I had part 2 of the series with the, with the green background or what have you, and I missed those books so much. I sold them, of course, but man, those were probably my favorite comic books to look at, to hang on to. I love this book, and I love all those Claremont Byrne stuff.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
And they sold easy. Yeah,
dude. Dude, Uncanny X-Men at this time, like, though, the first 200 issues, I put it up there with ASM. It's that style. You know what I mean? Like, it sells. ASM is a no-brainer. They sell. Uncanny X-Men just sells, bro.
Yeah, for a long time, X-Men stuff was super down. I mean, I want to even say even the pandemic, it really didn't do it justice. I mean, there was a lot of those Byrne Claremont keys.
Yeah.
And not only keys, like even the fillers that don't have a first appearance but have great stories in them, they're just like still really affordable. But then the market does a downturn, and then we have this X-Men 97, and stuff starts moving up and down, and or not up and down, moving up, not at a pandemic ascension, but more of a steady ascension. And long story short, I could totally see them taking this storyline into the animation and or live action and redoing the Days of Future Past. I mean, that's just, I don't know. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah,
it was a classic story that it's been retold, like, in what the X-Men animated series.
Yeah.
So, and then there's like even different iterations nowadays, right? Where they even have like those one shots that were taking place after these events, after these issues.
Yep.
So
does he have adamantium claws right there? He does, right? He does, right? Yep, he does.
Yeah, he would have had that by this point.
Because in the movie, he's got the bones, right? He's got the bones when he goes back. So, hey, I want to go ahead and hit the chat. We have some other locals and or lay people, Lord of Brooklyn. Appreciate you. What'd you say, Aaron? Sorry, I cut you off.
But the storylines in the future, so he would have had
Yeah.
that interview.
Right. And what's her name? Is that Kitty Pryde that takes?
No, you're right. It's Rachel Summers.
Rachel Summers. Okay.
I just can remember.
Derek Neiman's in the house. Appreciate your brother. I don't remember Derek ever being in the live chat. I'm really glad to see you. I always see you in the comments on House of Stein and on Bryan.
Derek's a gem, man.
Yeah, Derek's a good guy.
He jumps into our shows too.
Okay. I don't remember. Huh. I guess I'm just getting old. Lord of Brooklyn says it is Bed Bath and Beyond and Cap is in the front. I think he is talking to Awesome Sauce Adam, where Awesome Sauce Adam says, hey, Brooklyn, where in Brooklyn is the statue? I like to see it before the pigeons. I mean, rats with wings. You use it. Lord of Brooklyn says the statue is on 3rd Avenue. Interesting. By Bed Bath and Beyond. Left is in the house again. He's been in the house. I really appreciate you, Left, for setting this up. And by the way, Left Harris set this up. So let's thank him.
Oh,
He's
saying it's Kitty.
It is Kitty Pryde? Okay. My bad.
Oh, I wasn't. I thought I was. That's what I should have stuck to my answer and stuck to my guns.
All good. But I want to thank Left Harris for bringing Black Crown Comics and SSPEC Media, along with Aaron and I together. We always talk online, stuff like that. Agree, disagree, what have you. But now we're actually meeting each other, and I'm having a really good time. And I really thank you for doing that for us, Left. And I thank you, Black Crown Comics. You're awesome. We love your content. We're going to take a look at your channel here in a second again.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate it.
And
McClay today.
What'd you say?
What are you talking about? I'm Bryan McClay today.
Literally, it says right there.
I didn't want to change it on his. So, like, whenever he jumps onto something else, it says my name.
You should totally change it now before he hops into something else.
Well, because he probably will change it back.
He'll probably forget.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So that was it. I mean, I didn't really give you guys an answer. Honestly, I don't think I'm a buyer. I just think this book, even in a newsstand at $882, I know it's down. I know it's way down. It's probably down as low as it's been in a long time. But it's just not on my list. But I thought it was a good #1 because there's so much going on around mutants in the community, from comics to live action and animation. So I thought it would be a good one to talk about.
Yeah.
Could I ask you then, what would your buy-in be for this?
Yeah, for a newsstand, I guess I would probably 700. And for direct, I could see myself spending like probably $650.
Yeah.
But there's a Mark Jewelers there, and that's how I am. I just want to keep looking for the Mark Jewelers. So I don't know. But yeah, honestly, like I said, when I bought that collection and I got rid of all those books, man, I didn't want to say I regretted it, but I miss them a lot.
Yeah.
No.
So
well, especially since like X-Men over time has gotten its price correction, right?
Yeah.
And
market correction, like you always say. Yep.
Right. But then at the same time, that like every time there's like any little announcement about anything X-Men related to MCU, you see a spike in whatever they were talking about.
Oh, dude, look at the X-Men Adventures comics, man, from when X-Men 97 came out. That was insanity. So now with the MCU and Kevin Feige saying that they're going to start moving in the mutant phase, guys, buckle up, because these books, Rich, if you miss them, you're going to miss them a little longer, bro.
So you think I should pull the trigger, huh?
I mean, if the deal's right, yeah.
Honestly, I'd rather have a lower grade X-Men 94. That's just me. I'd rather go ahead and dip into like a high grade raw X-Men 94, work on it, and see if I can pull like a 9.6 out of it or something.
Yeah,
like
that would be sick.
Well, you should work a deal with Bryan, because I got a beautiful copy of X-Men 94 today.
Bryan has hooked me up with way too much stuff. I try not to ask him for anything. The guy he seriously has taken care of me. He's given me Otani rookies. He's given me freaking hockey cards that are, dude. What did he give me? He gave me because you're into hockey, so now I'm thinking about it. So he gave me some of the junk wax, like a Nicholas Lidstrom rookie card and a Mike Madonna and stuff like that. But then he also gave me some of the mid 80s O-Pee-Chee and Topps rookies. I can't remember what they are. Oh, Hextall rookie.
Yeah.
He gave me something else, but yeah, I mean, he's done so much for me. I don't want to ask him for anything, but I will keep it in mind. So thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it.
No, he was just like books that he's just been pulling out, like, and I'm just kind of like, you just pulled these out of random boxes throughout your house?
Dude, he has a crazy inventory of spec and collection. I mean, I don't know how in his collection. I don't, and then regular books too. He has big keys. Dude's got Hulk 181 stuff like that. He doesn't talk about it much because it's just he's been involved for so long. I guess when you get to that point, you don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see his sales and he pulls books out, and I'm just like, what? You have these books? And he's like, oh yeah, I got 3 of them. I'm just like, what? So
Yeah, if I just walk out this room, there's like boxes and boxes. I'm just like, kind of like, can I just like peek through to see what you have in here?
that's awesome, dude. All right, let's go ahead and end the show. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys are subbed up to our boy Black Crown Comics YouTube channel. He's got 567 subscribers. Let's get him at least to 600 over the next 24 hours, guys. So it's Black, BLA, but then it's 2 Ks instead of the CK. So Black Crown Comics.
I copied Spec Media, guys. That's what I did.
And he's got awesome stuff. He's got tutorials, DIY stuff on how to clean your slab or keep them clean. A little bit of Hawk Tui.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
There's a Big Leg dropped a card in the chat. We'll look at it in a second, but
hit the live, guys, just so you're aware. Most of my almost 99% of my content is just live on Sundays. So go,
so let's go to live. We'll go to live. There we go.
This is where everything takes place, man. I go live every Sunday. Weekly comic wrap up is the main staple of the channel. So like I said, we go through FOC, we go through the market report, and we go through the hot topics of the week. So every week, anything you missed, it's all being covered.
Hell yeah. So if you guys are fans of Cover Price, if you're fans of Lefteros, if you're fans of us, then you need to be fans of Black Crown Comics. This guy is amazing. He is so sharp, and I just love his content. I was going before the show. I wanted to do a little bit of background because we hadn't met each other, and I was just amazed at some of the thumbnails, some of the stuff they were talking about. Very similar to what we talk about every single week, Aaron and I and the boys. So make sure you guys are subbed up to Black Crown Comics on YouTube, and he's also on Instagram. Are you on any other socials?
Well, yes. Socials, it's just Instagram, YouTube, but I will give you guys a heads up.
Okay.
Nobody entirely knows, so I'll just give you a little bit, but keep an eye out. Cover Price. I join them every Friday night. Well, already off Friday, but you'll be seeing a little more of me there. I'll just leave it at that.
Cool. That's awesome, man. We're really happy for you. That's awesome. Matt DeVoe's really good dude.
Love him.
And like I was saying backstage, I've been a customer of a subscriber, paying customer of Cover Price since the very first time they actually went live on Reggie Collects YouTube channel, a live stream on a Sunday. It was the night, I believe the Oscars were that night, and it was either the end of 2000. No, it was the beginning of 2019, I believe, or maybe 2018. I don't remember, but it was a long time ago. I love them. I use them for Buy the Dip and so on and so forth. So, Aaron, you're going to say something?
Oh, I'm just really excited to meet Matt DeVoe in person.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because he's a sponsor for Near Nirvana, for Long Story Short and everything. So
yeah,
and I've jumped on a couple of his shows. So I'm really
you're always crushing it over on Nearing Nirvana, man. I love the Long Story Short shows, man. I'm always tuning in, paying attention to what you guys are going through. But yeah, man, Cover Price itself, guys. I'm sure majority of you already are, but if you're not, subscribe to the YouTube channel, show some love, and go show some love to these guys as well, man. Because Yeezee's killing it on streams with Nearing Nirvana. Rich is doing his thing because yes, I'm streaming live on my channel as well this episode. So everybody watching, do the same. Show some love back to these guys. And yeah, man, and of course Bryan McClay, guys, the fucking OG. I love watching Bryan. I don't think I need to say more.
So Like,
Yeah, no, this Bryan McClay. That's the guy you're gonna see this Saturday. No, I'm kidding.
That's funny. All right, guys. That's it. Did you guys have any pickups? Well, Aaron's gonna have pickups next week. Do you have any pickups you
Oh,
wanted to
sure.
show, or we
I
always do
mean,
pickups at the end? So
I've got tons of books I could show off, but I mean,
if you want, let's go. Let's do it. We got time.
let's see what just comes out of the pile right here. Hold up. Oh fuck, yo, you guys ever see this homage to The Exorcist from New X-Men?
Never seen that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
This was a regular cover, but I'm just gonna show you guys this because I'm pissed off. That's right. Look at this. You remember this causing a little bit of a stir recently? Yeah. You remember this causing a little bit of a stir?
Is that Bryce?
Comic-Con exclusives now. God damn it.
Is that Bryce Comics? Is it Bryce Comics?
No, man. This was
Jason Campbell.
Oh,
And then
okay.
he's releasing more copies too as well. I don't know if you saw that latest video. So he set aside copies of covers A, B, and C or whatever, and it's releasing more during the con. But supposedly whatever he sells here is it. But I mean, I'm sure we're all familiar with the famous warehouse finds.
Exactly what I was saying. I got this in the mail, and then I saw that, and I was like, damn it. And guys, if you're gamers,
I have it.
Virtual
Boom! Got it
Fire.
for $2 at my comic shop.
That's
It was on the almost 10. Ben put it on the almost 10 like 6 months ago, and I liked it so much because I'm a big Street Fighter 2 fan.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, I love Street Fighter 2 looking comics, so I grabbed it.
But yeah, no, I got tons of stuff, but I'm not gonna keep you guys. Just keep it rolling.
Show us. Come on, let's go.
Dude.
This is what we do.
Every week. I did not organize my shit.
Okay, no worries. No worries, brother. No, next time. We'll have
There
it.
you go.
Well, next
Richie,
time.
you have any pickups?
Yeah, I actually do, but I wanted to bring something up else out to the open. So I know a lot of you guys are questioning. It was a big topic over the weekend and or on Beyond Wednesdays, Monocomic Mayhem, Drama Alert. So there was Torpedo Comics had a mail away for Essentia. I believe it was issue 16 through, I want to say 19. 13 through 20? 17? Okay, something like that. Okay, it was like 4 or 5 issues in between, and you had to mail this coupon in, and you could either get a J. Scott Campbell Virgin or you could get this Frank Miller cover, and it came in a sealed box. It was a beautiful presentation. Well, the thing that got everybody moving on this, besides the fact that J. Scott Campbell had a beautiful cover, was the fact that there was only 380 copies of this. I mean, it was on their website, the limited 380 copies. So we got all of our 380 copies. I got a CGC 9A from Ben Stein, aka Hot 10. You guys know House Stein YouTube channel from one of the Stein packs. He hooked me, Brian, Aaron, and Joe up, and I got the book that I wanted. So I was really happy about it. And then like 3 days later, I see Redhead put a post of stacks of that book on a table. And I'm not talking just like 2 stacks. I'm talking about like the entire podcast table was filled. Yeah. Definitely more than 120 copies.
Yeah.
Well, he did have a pile. To be fair, he did have a pile of the inserts that come with it, where there's like this little. Did you see those pictures where you could see the slits within the cover? So that's like a sleeve cover for the comic book as well. So there was a pile of those. Well,
here's the thing: is I don't think
it's still a lot of extra copies that probably should not exist.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying, bro. That was a huge misrepresentation. I know it's only freaking. Okay, so now they're saying 500 copies. So this is what I'm trying to say. So I went into the Whatnot sale. Torpedo was in there, and I went in there. I was setting up for my Whatnot sale. I went in the live chat. I'm not about to bomb or anything like that, but I just put in the live chat. I was like, hey, do you guys have the Essentia J. Scott Campbell Virgin cover? I heard it was limited to 380. And the gentleman goes, yeah, that's the most. He starts going off. It's the most rarest cover of J. Scott Campbell, this and that. And I go, okay, can you, before I move to my next question, can you clarify over the weekend, the massive stacks I saw of that book? And then he's like, well, I don't know about 380. I think it was like over 500. So all of a sudden he's starting to change the number. And I was like, I didn't want to get too much into it, basically, because he's trying to sell books. So I was just, I was like, I responded. I was like, okay, I just wanted clarification. Thank you very much. I love the cover, you know, so on and so forth. But what do you guys think about all that?
So the owner, John, responded on Instagram, I think, to like someone asking on what happened. Who was a glue lover, like glue 33 lover or whatever on IG. And so he was responding to his question, like, hey, why are there extra copies of this existing? And to answer the question, it's for people that, you know, help organize with the book, you know, artist comps, you know, people that were helping with the con as well. So there's like 100 extra copies or something like that. And all those copies were signed by, you know, John the creator, and then also J. Scott Campbell as well. So, and then I think like part of it's supposed to be like, you know, some of the extra copies too are supposed to be used for different promotions or whatever, or charity events. Or
Plus, they
something.
order for damages and stuff like that. What,
Right.
like 10% over?
Right. So, I mean,
well, why? My question is that why did they pump the limited 380 if that was going to happen? That's the problem I'm having right now.
Yeah, I mean, to represent like what was actually like out there, right?
That's the problem I'm having. I don't really care. I'll be honest with you. I got it for free. It was a gift from Ben. I really love it. I got lucky. I got, you know, it's a blind box opening. I got the book that I wanted. I'm very happy. I'm not trying to, you know, act like I'm spoiled or anything like that. But, you know, when somebody is posting something and there's record of it, and then all of a sudden things start changing, that's where I start getting a little weird. And I go, okay, I start doing a deep dive on Torpedo, and this is supposedly not even the first time this has happened. So,
well, I mean,
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's just kind of cool that they were trying to bring back like some of the '90s promotion stuff and all that, but then now it's kind of like
with the mail-in thing.
Yeah, with the mail-in coupon thing.
I agree. Yeah.
But now it's kind of like because of this, it's kind of muddy now, right?
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah. And I totally understand, you know, you got to have artist copies, give them shit. The artist, you probably want to give them like 100. Now, give them as many as you want, you know, but as long as we are accountable for what we are promoting, because people are spending hard-earned money especially during a time that everything is so damn expensive right now, you know? So I just thought it was an interesting thing to talk about, and I'm glad we brought it up.
Yeah. For me, what was surprising is the fact that so many people are even surprised, because this practice, it's not just with this book. When it comes to exclusives, man, I could assure you 99% of them, it's like that. There's always those extras like you guys were talking about. And then I don't believe a single time I read limited to. I don't. And we can go in depth. Like like
numbered, like the Banana Wolverine JTC, those are actually numbered, but there's also, besides the 3,000 that are out there, there's also the artist proof copies.
Yeah, exactly.
To like whatever. I don't remember the exact count. Maybe like was it 250 or was it only 25?
Yeah,
I don't know. Someone with better research than me or memory could probably remember.
Yeah. Look, I know some people feel like it's, you know, a torpedo thing, but like I said, this goes more than beyond torpedo. This is just, we know this is a practice that's going on over and over again.
Well, I don't want to say like industry standard, but then like, I don't know, like it doesn't surprise you, right?
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt, Aaron, but what I was saying is that's why I love Bryan's drama alert. A lot of people, you know, if they watch it, like if they take it out of context, and I guess that's for lack of a better term. So basically, if they're first time ever seeing it, let's say a person in the community comes up, it could come off as like, whoa, you know, somebody's getting attacked. But if you watch and you listen to what Bryan's content on Drama Alert does, he basically informs all of us of this stuff. And that's why I love that segment so much.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, honestly, I probably could have done without even knowing about this. But what if one day I went and flipped this and I'm like, there's only 380, like the 500 or not 500, but the 380 listings we saw on eBay the week it made the hot 10 when they all said limited to 380, 380, 380. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of a letdown. But make sure you guys are subbed up to Beyond Wednesday's YouTube channel. Bryan is killing it over there. His content is like so professional now. His editing is unbelievable. His segments are unbelievable. And he does a show on Wednesdays with Aaron and I, of course, with Big Clutch from Skybound Comics, Red Hood, and Big Leg, a.k.a. Sean Leggett. And then he has a show on Tuesday nights, typically right before By the Dip. It's called The Industry Show. Yeah. And, of course, there is the Saturday show, which is Modern Comic Mayhem. I suggest all of his shows to everybody, but like I say, and I don't know if Bryan, he probably doesn't even like me saying this, but I'm just being honest. If you get offended easily, Saturday night might not be your show because it gets crazy.
Spicy one.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's go ahead and end this. I don't want to go ahead and ramble on. I really appreciate you coming by, and thank you for joining us. I hope the dual stream worked out. I see it on your channel. Is it live? And hopefully we can get you to 600 subscribers. And after we pass 600, let's get this guy up to 1,000. I will do everything I can to try to help you. We're trying to help Ferdy as well get to 1,000 subs, because he works very hard on YouTube as well, like you and us and everybody. So I know how it is. All right, guys, that's it. Make sure you guys are subscribed, liked, comment, all that good stuff. Leave me a question. I want some feedback on the show tonight. And, of course, if you guys are mailing comics, use Gemini Comic Supply, Popcorn 99, 10% off. There's a bonus code SSP, like Super Short Print 99, for your buddy, your brother, your sister, or what have you. And we really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Peace.